Melt the resistance and open your heart with Transformation Thursdays.
Hello, and welcome to Transformation Thursday. I'm Jay Dubois, and I'm here this week with Howie Leang. Howie is the co-founder of the Heart Center LA, and Howie has a unique perspective and profound feel for the heart of autism in children because he's gone through his life with high-functioning autism and only realized it later in life. Howie's mandate as a kids coaching connection certified coach is to help parents better understand the inner plight of their autistic child in order to deepen their relationship and mutual appreciation for one another. Howie is grateful to serve the community with the spiritual empowerments and upliftments from his spiritual teacher, Master Zhigang Sha, to assist humanity in its transition to the new earth. Thank you for coming today, Howie. How are you doing?
Good. Thank you for having me, Jay.
Yes, my pleasure. So tell me about your mandate to help autistic children and their families. You seem to be really passionate about this.
Yes. Well, I discovered that I was on the spectrum, self-diagnosed about 18 months ago. I was doing my own spiritual journey and found out, there's this cognitive dissonance that I've experienced all my life was actually due to some other underlying condition. So autism turned out to be what it was. And later on, I found out that my son exhibited similar symptoms as I did, and so did my mom. So I put all the dots together and figured out, we all had the same underlying condition.
That's really interesting. And what are some of these symptoms that you recognized in yourself and your son and your mother?
Yeah, so for me, it was not fitting in. I knew very early on that I perceived the world very differently than the people around me, and didn't know why. I felt really isolated because of that. Had like social anxiety because I had to constantly force myself to kind of fit in, even though it wasn't authentic to who I was. So that was a pretty challenging aspect of my life. And that's why I really want to help, coach children of autism so that they can overcome these emotional challenges.
And tell me, so what does this coaching look like? And is this just for children with autism, or does it apply more broadly? Does it apply to adults? Does it apply to their families?
Yes. So we want to apply this to the families. I want to serve them directly, meaning that for the parents and the caretakers of these autistic children, they are the most important relationship to the child. That's, it's across the board, right? Not just autism, but everybody. And the way those parents see the child is very, very important. And I want to give the parents a more holistic view of what autism is. It's more of a neurodiversity, a different way of thinking, as opposed to just a disorder or a way of like maybe people say it's a dysfunction, right? So there's way more to it than that.
So what I hear you saying is that we as a society think of autism as a problem, as some kind of issue, but you seem to think that it is more of an ability, as an ability that people have that perhaps isn't the typical what the typical person is born with, but gives them connection to something else. Can you expand on that?
Yes. So it's just purely a neurodiversity, a different way of seeing the world, right? And because of that, we behave differently. That's all it is. So people tend to want to see their child emulate themselves. So that's where a lot of the problems come from. Why isn't he acting normal, quote normal, right? To the neurotypical population. And I'm trying to open their minds to allowing space for the child to be neurodiverse.
So what is this concept of neurodiversity for those people out there who haven't really heard of this? What does this concept encompass?
Yes. So the society wants us to conform in a certain way. And there's constantly that push and pull that the autistic child experiences, even subconsciously. And so that will develop into these symptoms these disorders because they don't feel like they fit. They don't feel like they conform naturally. So they'll do all sorts of like mental, emotional trickery on themselves to try to like blend in. And that takes a toll on the child's emotional development. And that's what we want to try to alleviate, both from the parent side and from within the child. So I also offer coaching for the kids. We provide a safe space for them, a space where they feel safe to be seen and heard and to be understood and embraced without any judgment. And that I've found in itself is very, very healing. And then we can pattern behaviors. I can help them pattern behaviors or positive behaviors where they can overcome their social anxieties in a healthy way.
Yes, and it must be crucial to include the parents in this process in order for children to be well socialized.
Yes.
You must need to include their parents. How does that work?
Yes. So the parents, they have their expectations of what their child should be like. And I want to help the parents loosen those expectations and to allow their child to grow up how they were designed to grow up. That's basically it.
The way they are, which is autistic, is perfect. It's the way they were meant to be, rather than some kind of dysfunction or disorder.
Exactly. So autism is purely just a bunch of symptoms that the psychiatric board or psychology put together to label somebody as dysfunctional, right? And it's way more than that. It's not just about dysfunction. It's about what this child brings to the world with their unique perspective.
Yeah, this seems to be the way things work in our society, where and you and I have talked about this, right? Where the psychologists come from the perspective of what is wrong with you.
Yes.
And what I hear you're saying, and what I'm also feeling is there's nothing wrong with us, right? There's things that are right about us that society is not engineered to understand correctly, perhaps, but
yes.
or to facilitate, right? But what really excites me about this perspective is that this allows us to form new ways of thinking and new ways of doing things that is not only more inclusive, but also perhaps we'll find that we can do things that we didn't know we could do when we support people.
Yeah. No, the whole concept of neurodiversity is to force us to kind of broaden our ideas, our concept of what it is to be human, right? With the neurotypical population, I think the range is a little bit narrower. We want to include neurodiversity as well, so that we can include everybody across the whole spectrum. So
does neurodiversity include things that are outside of autism? Yes.
There's I've known that it's included gay, transsexual, the LGBTQ, I think, and everything else, ADHD, any kind of, what we used to consider as disorders. They're just different ways of being, really, and includes everyone.
Fascinating. Thank you, Howie. So you have a program for the parents and you have a program for the kids. Something I've also heard you talk about is a program where the kids can socialize, or that people, neurodiverse people, can socialize with each other. And you think that will help them? You think that'll help heal them?
Yes.
Can you tell me more about this?
Yes. So I really wanted to try to create or support local tribes for people of autism, where they can get together with other like-minded, autistic people. The importance of this is to introduce positive imprints of successful social interactions, like early on, especially early on, so that they don't feel so alone, right? They don't feel so isolated, because studies have shown that autistic to autistic communication is just as efficient as neurotypical to neurotypical communication. It's just they communicate differently. That's all it is. So I think by introducing these positive, successful interactions will lead to a brighter outlook in their lives, because studies have found that suicide rates in the autistic community is 6 times that of the general population. And it's due to due to this feelings of isolation. So we want to kind of interrupt that cycle, that pattern, and give them more hope, a more positive outlook.
Yes, thank you. Yes, and so for the people out there who are watching, who are perhaps autistic or who have autistic children and are worried about them, what would you say to them?
I would say that there is help out there. Programs like ours, there's a wide variety of resources. They're getting more and more every day. So their concerns about the survival of their autistic children, I think, can be alleviated over time. For instance, we're trying to come up with these survival concerns, address these survival concerns by exploring potential developments of eco-communities that are run by the autistic community for the autistic community. So there are already communities out there that do this specifically. So then the parents no longer have to be so concerned about the welfare of their children after they die.
Can you tell me more about these eco-communities that are designed to include autistic people?
Yes. So because autistic people communicate much better, with each other, they can live in an environment where they feel more stress-free, and they'll be happier. And this because the spectrum is so wide that whatever one person can't do, it can be covered by another person, right? So there are higher functioning autistic people, lower functioning autistic people. They can all live together quite seamlessly, covering each other, supporting each other in different ways that complement each other. So I think these kind of communities will eventually become the future.
Wow, that's fascinating. And are there any plans for this kind of community in the near future, in the middle future?
That's what we're exploring now as part of CTC.
Yes, great. Thank you so much, Howie. Is there anything else that you'd like for our viewers to know? I know, again, you're a co-founder of this Heart Center LA. What does the Heart Center offer? What is the Heart Center, and what function does it serve? I know you're in Pasadena. What is the Heart Center? Okay,
the Heart Center is, to me, a community where we can get together. It's based around Tao calligraphy, which is this new healing modality that's been discovered created by my teacher and spiritual father, Master Jigong Sha. And it offers healing, physical, emotional, spiritual, you name it. It does it across the board in a very, very unique way, a very effective way. So right now there's a foundation that leads clinical studies to prove the efficacy of this new modality. Support for this on a physics level.
The quantum physicist, I understand, who is involved with the Master Sha organization and does some of this research, no?
Yes. So Dr. Rulin Xu, she's the quantum physicist who has come up with the grand unification theory, and based on Tao science. And she is currently going around to physics conferences around the world to spread her theory and to get it properly peer reviewed so that it can be formally accepted, in the whole, in physics. So all this is going on in the background. So this movement of Tao calligraphy, its connection to the source oneness on a quantum level, is a very real movement that is making great strides into mainstream society.
It's fascinating. And I noticed that in the background for both of us, there is Tao calligraphy.
Yes.
So can you explain to people exactly what Tao calligraphy is and what it's doing?
Yes. So on a quantum level, everything in everything is a vibrational field. I have a vibrational field. You have a vibrational field. My phone has its own vibrational field. So when we go through life, we have challenges. Those are simply negative information, energy, and matter in our vibrational field. Mm-hmm. Well, what Tao calligraphy is it is the source, most pure vibrational field, positive vibrational field. So when you trace the calligraphy, you're basically imbuing yourself with this positive information, energy, and matter, which will transmute or transform any negative information, energy, and matter in your field. So that basically is healing on a physical level, emotional level, mental level, spiritual level. And it also helps with relationships and finances.
Can you refer the viewers to somewhere they can find out more about Tao calligraphy?
Yes, you can come to our website. It's heartcenter.la. And we have great introductory courses that will allow you to actually experience this healing field of the Tao calligraphy. We have a class every Sunday at 9:00 a.m. Where you might even be chosen as a demonstration, demo
wow.
for healing. Yes.
Wow, great. And are there any other offerings that the Heart Center has?
We do a weekly meditation class as well on Fridays at, I believe it's 11:00 in the morning.
And that's Pacific time, right?
Pacific time, yes.
Okay, and I understand you also have a class for women on Thursdays?
Yes. That is our heart dance. That's led by my business partner, Winnie Wang. And she and another Tao master teacher lead that class.
Yes, also my life partner.
Yes.
Full disclosure. So, yes. So thank you so much, Howie. Is there anything else you'd like the viewers to know?
Yeah, I think we're all in this together, and the more we can lean on each other, I think the happier everyone will be. So that's what I think Compassionate Transformation Community and the Heart Center LA are all about. So we welcome you to come. We're in Pasadena. Come visit anytime.
Thanks, Howie. It's been great talking to you. And our viewers can find you again at heartcenter.la. Howie's also on the board at Compassionate Transformation Community, and you can find that website at lovect.net. Thanks for everybody for watching, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Thank you.
Please like, share, and subscribe. We equip people with the skills to navigate the ups and downs of life. Will you help us solve the mental health crisis? Please donate to Compassionate Transformation at lovect.net. Thank you.